All right, let's dive right in. Have you ever wondered how massive real estate deals are actually structured behind closed doors? Well, today in this explainer, we're pulling back the curtain on a highly confidential $5.8 million investment pitch. We're going to look at the exact numbers, the market data, and the aggressive sequencing used to pitch a staggering $22.5 million profit. If you want to understand the mechanics of a real suburban land boom, you are absolutely in the right place. On our agenda today, we'll start with the Coteau-du-Lac boom, then move to the Brandev Properties opportunity. After that, we break down Phase 1's commercial lot, Phase 2's residential Eden, the market proof, and finally, the $22 million strategy.
Section 1. The Coteau-du-Lac boom.
To really grasp the power of this pitch, we first need to understand the macroeconomic shifts driving demand in this once sleepy waterfront town. Take a look at this quote from real estate broker Dennis Lupien, the author of our confidential memo. It sets the ultimate insider tone, right? Coteau-du-Lac is no longer a hidden gem. It is a major growth corridor. The pitch relies heavily on convincing the investor that they're getting in at the exact right moment of consolidation. And it's all about location. Just 40 minutes from Montreal, it offers direct access to the A20 and A40 economic corridor. So you've got massive industrial and logistics job creation happening right alongside premium waterfront living on Lac Ste. François. Let's be real, it is the absolute perfect storm for suburban migration. And that geographical advantage, it translates to some very real hard numbers. Based on Q1 2026 data, we're looking at a massive 12% jump in the median price of single-family homes in just 1 year. Properties are literally flying off the market in an average of 35 days. So this isn't speculation, it's a firm, data-backed seller's market. Section 2. The Brandev Properties opportunity. So let's look at the actual deal presented to the investor, Irving Osher of Brandev Properties. What exactly is on the table? The memo zeroes in on two very specific properties on Chemin Saint-Emmanuel. The location is prime. It sits right off the A20 highway interchange at kilometer 19. That means direct, high-visibility highway access, which is absolute gold for any commercial or mixed-use development. The really crucial part here is how different these two lots are and how they play off each other. Phase 1 is a vacant 4,311 square meter mixed-use lot. Phase 2, on the other hand, is a massive 33,177 square meter serviced residential lot. It's essentially an 8.2-acre blank canvas. Section 3. Phase 1, the commercial lot. Let's start with the first piece of the puzzle and see how it builds the foundation for the whole strategy. For this Phase 1 lot, Lupien proposes a 4-level wood construction building. The ground floor is dedicated entirely to commercial space, think retail, restaurants, and services, capitalizing on that highway visibility. Above that, he proposes 54 condominiums. The strategic mix here is exactly 40% studios or 1-bedrooms, 40% 2-bedrooms, and 20% 3-bedrooms to capture a really diverse renter or buyer demographic. But here's the absolute kicker for Phase 1. Because the land is currently completely vacant, there are zero demolition costs or delays. By building this mixed-use complex and selling the condos while valuing the commercial space, the pitch estimates a net profit margin of 28.1%. It's a high-yield, relatively fast turnaround project. Section 4. Phase 2. The residential Eden. Phase 1 is great, but it's really just the appetizer for cash flow. Let's look at the main course. The vision here is expansive. The broker recommends building 144 contemporary townhouses on this 8.2-acre lot. This completely capitalizes on the region's intense demand for premium, family-friendly, suburban living that still offers access to nature and water. You know what's really fascinating about this specific lot, though? The hidden value. The infrastructure, water, sewer, and high-capacity electricity is already hooked up on the site. In the development world, that is a massive head start. It saves the buyer anywhere from $500,000 to $800,000 immediately, compared to buying raw, unserviced land. Section 5. The market proof. Because let's be honest, real estate pitches are just promises on paper until they're backed up by solid data. So let's verify Lupien's aggressive projections. Looking at the official Q1 2026 data presented in the memo, the numbers totally validate the strategy. We see an astonishingly low 3.2 months of inventory for properties priced up to $690,000. Anything under 4 months is considered a strong seller's market,
which proves there's urgent, unmet demand for the exact type of townhomes proposed in Phase 2. It's not just buyer demand either. The regulatory environment is perfectly aligned. In January 2026, the city adopted sweeping new urban and zoning laws, bylaws URB 399 to 407. This kind of municipal overhaul signals strong regulatory momentum and a city council that is actively preparing for and honestly welcoming new density and developments. And this government action isn't just theoretical. It aligns perfectly with recent precedent projects. For example, a city-owned lot known as Terrain Juteau was recently rezoned specifically to allow 4-story buildings, just like our Phase 1 proposal, and it's sold to a developer for nearly $1.9 million. The city is clearly willing to play ball with developers to modernize the area. We also see heavy market validation from competing projects already underway. Project Nautica is selling premium waterfront homes, proving buyers will definitely pay top dollar here. Meanwhile, L'Archipel is a massive 192-unit rental complex, with units starting at $1,445 a month, proving the high-density rental and condo market is incredibly viable. Section 6, a $22 million strategy. So let's tie all this market data and property potential together and look at the actual financial mechanics of the deal. Lupien outlines a brilliantly sequenced 4-step strategy. He doesn't suggest building everything at once. Step 1 is to use the vacant Phase 1 lot to generate immediate liquidity. You get the permits, start construction, and use that activity to validate the sector's growth. Then, from months 18 through 54, use that momentum and cash flow to develop and sell the highly profitable 144 townhomes over in Phase 2. And this brings us to the ultimate punchline of the confidential memo. By following this exact sequence, the investor is looking at a combined initial purchase price of nearly $5.8 million. But after development, the estimated profit on Phase 1 is over $7.5 million, and Phase 2 brings in nearly $15 million. That is a projected combined profit of $22.5 million, representing a massive 26% margin overall. It really is a masterclass in packaging demographic shifts, infrastructure savings, and phase development into one irresistible pitch. So I'll leave you with this to ponder. As we see massive capital flowing into these suburban waterfront towns like Coteau-du-Lac, are we looking at a temporary post-city flight bubble? Or is this the inevitable, highly profitable future of real estate expansion? Think about it, and we'll see you in the next explainer.